Hello and thank you for being a part of our network tonight. My name is Spumelele Zondi. Tonight we have information on the Anzisha Prize for Entrepreneurship. We'll tell you about AfricaCom, which took place in Cape Town. We have an update on MTN's growing problems across Africa. The discussion tonight is on how Facebook is reacting to the different terror attacks that are taking place in different parts of the world. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za and email. Let's start with your social media and technology news. The 18th annual AfricaCom conference took place this week, and one of the talking points was on broadband penetration. Producer Lebusi Jake went to the event held in Cape Town, and this is what she experienced.
Broadband connectivity was a big topic at this year's AfricaCom conference. This is where big and small players of the information, communication and technology sector gather to discuss and showcase possible ICT solutions for the African continent. Exhibitors from all over the globe came prepared to showcase various tools that might be answers to Africa's broadband woes. One of these solutions includes broadband connectivity using fiber networks.
Fiber is normally the most preferred because it's literally a point-to-point. It's a solid medium. You've got other solutions like your Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is becoming, or your wireless, let me put it like that, where you have other technologies like Wi-Fi's. The advantage about it is that it does not, there's less disadvantage. Sometimes the terrain is a bit of a construction, it constricts you to be saying, I cannot put fiber here, so maybe I might not be able to dig, because normally you dig it or you put it on poles.
Another major talking point at this year's AfricaCom were international broadband strategies. Adopted by government, the plans aim at having 100% internet penetration around the world, including rural areas. South African Deputy Minister of Telecommunications and Postal Services defined the role that government will be playing in implementing these plans.
I emphasize the commitments, the undersea cables, also is government is investment to make sure that the infrastructure is owned by government. In other words, we are promoting open access so that the players, the connectivity players, do not cost a lot of money to the public at large. Reducing the cost to communicate is very, very important.
Though flooded with suits and complicated technology jargon, AfricaCom also had some light aspects to it, like this luxurious Huawei smartwatch and this cool robot that gave us a warm welcome into the smart home. Attendees from all over the world seem to have taken a lot from the technology event.
I'm not really into technology that much, but I find it very informative. So I'm surely I'll be using it in the near future.
One of the things is the talks about LTE, which has been an eye-opener, and Malawi, we are also going in that direction.
I think this is a great event just for finding partners, for handling face-to-face negotiations and for signing something maybe. I mean, just it's great to meet people, to know what is on the market.
The 18th annual AfricaCom opened its doors at the Cape Town International Convention Center on the 17th and ended on the 19th of November.
The Anzisha Prize rewards Africa's entrepreneurs who are under the age of 22. Both the top prize and first runner-up this year went to people who use technology as part of the services they provide. The overall winner received $25,000. Slate Cube is a service that provides Nigerians with professional skills. This is in a bid to help reduce the unemployment rate in the country. It focuses mostly on technical skills that are needed in today's job market. Students can attend courses or do some programs online. The platform and its 22-year-old founder, Chris Kwekowe, won this year's Anzisha Prize.
A huge percentage of those who study computer science don't really build the industry relevant skills, like in programming, software development. It's not typical. So I've studied computer science and I know I don't have those skill sets I need, and I have interest in web development. I come on the platform, I see a course on web development, I sign up to take that course. If it's free, fine. If it's not free, I pay what I ought to pay for the course, and I go through a period of training. I have modules to complete, weekly schedules to finish, and when I'm done with that, I have a final exam, which is usually a project. So You're not just learning and writing theoretical answers to problems. You're actually building off of what you've learned.
Kwekowe received close to 350,000 rand for his work. His runner-up is another 22-year-old Cameroonian, Fabrice Alomo. He has started a mobile payments platform that enables Cameroonians to make payments at any time. It's called MyA Connect. He now wants his platform to transfer funds across borders. Alomo got his idea when he didn't have cash and needed to pay for his mother's medication in the middle of the night.
We provide them a system where they can have their account, an account where they can store money. They can use their money that is stored in the system to make payment, to make a money transfer solution, to have access to credit, or to have access to insurance, through mobile phone, a smartphone, or a simple GSM phone.
The young men say they will invest their winnings back into their businesses. MTN is now facing more fines in its operations across the continent. Africa's biggest mobile phone network provider now has to pay in Rwanda and Uganda for allegedly breaking regulations there.
It seems as if there is no end to MTN's woes across Africa. MTN has been fined more than 9.3 million rand in Uganda for anti-competitiveness. It seems MTN had a deal with a company called Easy Money, which provides mobile money services. But Easy Money went to court saying MTN cancelled its contract with them on learning about its deal with another mobile network provider. The judge also had stern words for MTN, saying the South African mobile network provider coerces mobile money vendors not to sell Easy Money. And in Rwanda, MTN is in discussions with the Revenue Authority to settle a 167 million rand tax dispute out of court.
I would imagine that there's a conversation that needs to ensue. It's interesting how the law get applied in different countries, and there are different nuances in each one of them. From where I stand, from a South African perspective, you'll expect the authorities to engage you. You'll have a sit down, there'll be an arrangement, even an opportunity for you to air your side of the story. In it, discussing the rands and cents that are put down. I'm hoping that discussion will happen the same way in Nigeria.
These developments in East Africa happen as MTN is still negotiating to have a 72 billion rand fine reduced. The record fine amount has shocked the African business sector. It's for MTN's failure to switch off unregistered SIM cards, some of which are believed to be used by terrorist groups such as Boko Haram, which is responsible for bombings that have killed many Nigerians. While the Nigerian Communications Commission is negotiating, it says the fine is in the interests of the public.
Historically, in the Nigerian authorities, you find that they actually do converse with the companies. In 2011, Shell had an oil spill around Nigeria. It was fined $5 billion, a similar amount to what MTN has been fined. But after all was said and done, a few years later, so 3 years later, around now in 2015, they only concluded at $3.2 billion.
MTN has refused to talk to Network about any of these allegations, saying they are still looking into their options going further.
American President Barack Obama officially opened a Facebook account. Hackers have declared cyber war on ISIS. These are some of the global tech stories doing the rounds this week. Here's Lebogang Sechake.
Hi and welcome to another edition of the SABC Tech Wrap. I am coming to you from the AfricaCom conference here in Cape Town. Now this is a place where tech brainiacs from all over the world gather to discuss and showcase possible ICT solutions for the African continent. Now, for what's been trending here at home, the Gauteng provincial government announced that it has allocated an extra 200 million for the building of more smart classes.
The announcement was made by Finance MEC Barbara Cressy at the department's medium-term budget speech delivered at the Gauteng legislature in Johannesburg this week. Cressy added that the intention is to ensure that the department does not accumulate further municipal debt.
Now, following the Paris mass shootings, the hackers collective Anonymous has declared cyber war on ISIS.
Jeudi 13 novembre 2015, notre pays, la France, fut attaqué à Paris vers 22h par de multiples attentats terroristes revendiqués par vous, l'État islamique.
In a video uploaded onto a social media website on November 14th, this man, wearing a Guy Fawkes mask, said the Islamic State militants who claimed responsibility for the Paris attacks were vermin and Anonymous would hunt them down.
À une réaction massive d'Anonymous. Sachez que nous vous trouverons et que nous ne lâcherons rien. Nous allons lancer l'opération la plus importante jamais réalisée contre vous. Attendez-vous à de très nombreuses cyberattaques. La guerre est déclenchée. Préparez-vous.
New York City is being sued by taxi owners and lenders over taxi hailing app Uber.
According to the complaint, the number of Uber rides in the core of Manhattan increased by 3.82 million from April to June 2015 compared with a year earlier, while medallion cab pickups fell by 3.83 million. They said this had driven down the value of medallions, which yellow cab drivers need to operate by 40% from a peak exceeding $1 million and cost more defaults. Still in the US of A, President Barack Obama launched his official Facebook account on November 9th, and his first post was a video addressing climate change.
I want to make sure that the beauty of this particular national park, but also national parks all across the country and our planet, are going to be there for Malia, Sasha, their kids, their grandkids.
SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. After the break, we chat about social media and terrorism. Levi Kapato is already in studio to have that chat with us.
Looking for social issues?
It is not our intention to give condoms to 10-year-old children.
We're here to assist you. Looking for religious issues?
The point is not for the church to try and prove whether this is the fact.
So we want accountability. Is there a system of governance in your churches?
Political issues.
Barack Obama said Africa should stop looking to the outside for salvation and focus on someone else being at fault for the problems of the continent.
Economic issues.
The young mothers, single mothers that's buying property now.
Or just looking to air your views.
Here are some of your views on social media.
Look no further, as Newsroom has all the informative information you need. Weekdays at 9 a.m. only on the SABC News Channel.
SABC News at SABC Network, at sabc.co.za. Thank you very much for joining us. Mobile messaging service Telegram is racing to shut down broadcast channels used by Islamic State to promote its causes and recruit members. But the group is creating new channels, apparently, just as quickly. Berlin-based Telegram is a social networking site that was created 2 years ago by the founder of Russia's most popular social network site, Vkontakte. It has members-only channels that can't be accessed by everybody. Some security researchers say 2 months ago, this feature of Telegram became the preferred method for Islamic State to broadcast news and share videos. ISIS, or Daesh as it is known in the Arab world, used Telegram to claim responsibility for the Paris attacks, which left 129 people dead. The group also used the same site to claim the bombing of a Russian airliner over Egypt last month, which killed 224 people. In a statement published on its site on Wednesday, Telegram said it has been able to identify and block 78 Islamic State-related broadcast channels in 12 languages. While some were quickly shut down, others relocated channels remained running. But some analysts say shutting down may not be the solution.
We have encryption everywhere. We have it in every messenger. WhatsApp is today encrypted. all your banking systems are encrypted. Encryption is out there. And if we were from the beginning to say we must be able to break encryptions as a country.
Some also feel that social media sites delete accounts of people who also don't belong to ISIS.
What they do is be primarily suspicious of people. They go to Google Translate, look at what's inside of Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts, and guess to understand what these people say to follow like they belong to ISIS and communicate as such. Sorry, but this is kindergarten. It has nothing to do with an effective approach. Actually, it's a field where I will say that you should just stay away from that, as it happened several times already that people have gotten into trouble who have nothing to do with ISIS.
Telegram also has members-only features on its site. IS supporters continue to take advantage of such channels on Telegram to spread its word. One newly set up channel is in English and it's called Trend It. It has nearly 500 followers so far, while other jihadi channels aimed at Islamic State supporters in Indonesia remain up. Now, recently, Facebook came under fire for not treating terror attacks the same. People in Lebanon asked where their safety check feature is and wanted a flag to filter their profile pictures. This is after Facebook activated them for France after the Paris attacks that took place in the same week. Facebook then activated a safety check feature for Nigeria after Boko Haram attacks in Nigeria a few days ago. But many are still saying that's still not good enough. Joining us in studio to discuss this is media analyst Levi Kabato. Hello and thank you for being a part of our network.
Thanks for having me here.
Now, Levi, should social media sites be closing down accounts?
Well, I think it really goes against the grain of what we were taught about social media, that these were tools for freedom, tools for expression. And now we're at a point where people are beginning to ask, should we be closing down? So there's a very huge contradiction that's beginning to emerge. And part of the problem is that we haven't always looked at these tools as extensions of our lives. We sort of view them as something that's really separate from our existence, something that's really very divorced from our daily living, and we're beginning to realize that actually this is a part of who we are, and hence the contradiction now where your own private fears begin to emerge on Facebook, whereas previously you could post whatever you wanted and maybe still get away with it. So I don't think we should be shutting down sites. I think we should be looking at much more broader issues, and these are mostly political issues that are then feeding this idea that we need to shut down. But to shut down then really goes against the grain of why we had these tools in the first place.
But then not shutting down also leads to the continuation of recruiting members for groups like ISIS. We heard of a 15-year-old girl in South Africa earlier this year.
I don't think it's a social media problem. I think it's a societal problem. These are just tools. Like I said, the way we look at them and the way we view them is what's giving us this thinking that once you shut down a Facebook account, you've dealt with the problem. But social media is actually a many-headed hydra, so to speak. You cut off one head, another pops out elsewhere. What we need to deal with are, as I said earlier, the political issues and certain other things that deal then with the mindset of many people that deal with the need for much more broader societal conversation, which is what we're not having at the moment. We just post, we tweet, you Instagram, but we're not having conversations as citizens or as a broader public that's affected by what's going on around us.
Let's go back to the flag filters that happened for France and also the safety check feature that's also happened for France. Should there have been as much noise as there was about these?
Well, probably yes, but you have to understand as well that the people who are sitting, the engineers at Facebook, most of them probably have a deeper association with France than they do with Zimbabwe, Malawi or Mali, as it were. So their very immediate instincts are to relate to what happens in sort of a loci of their thinking and so on and so forth. So they would normally come up with such innovations. You had earlier on in one of the insets a kid who developed an app simply because they could not pay their mother's medical bills, and they innovated out of that. So the same thing with this, with these filters, is that when you feel closer to a tragedy, when you feel closer to something that's happening around you, you're most likely to innovate. So the people who are sitting at Facebook in San Francisco probably have not much relation to Africa, as it were. So when things happen in Africa, their primary concern is not really, to focus on that.
But then again, Levi, what does a flag filter solve? Let's say we have a flag filter for Nigeria, for example, because they've experienced a few attacks in the last few days. Does it solve the problems on the ground?
It doesn't do anything apart from the usual, we're raising awareness, we're doing something about it, and it gives us some sort of satisfaction as users that we have done something. I've changed my profile picture, so I've done something. But it doesn't address the core issue. It doesn't address what's happening really at the bottom. And this is what we need to start doing, or these are the conversations that we need to start having, that beyond your filter, what else are you doing? What else can you do as a citizen? If there are limitations around your capacity, then we begin to say that, as opposed to raising expectations that a bunch of people sitting in South Africa or people sitting in Tanzania, when they change their profile pictures, it's really going to change anything. I think we do a disservice.
So how best should we use social media in order to react to what's happening around the world?
Like I said, they're merely just tools. There are limitations of geography, there are limitations of imagination, there are limitations of thought, there are limitations of consciousness around our collective responses. So beyond raising awareness, I think media institutions then have a particular role to play in how they interpret such events. So I think this really is on you, the guys in the media, to begin to put these conversations together, narrow them down, and explain to the public what it really means.
Levi Kabatso, thank you very much for being a part of our network tonight.
Thanks to you.
Right now, Nicholas Guna has played Simba in the Lion King stage production in England. He is currently on 2 TV dramas, Ruri Ufute and Skeem Sam. We caught up with him and he told us about his favorite piece of technology.
Mareka, how is Dylan doing?
He's okay.
You want some more stuff?
No. I don't want any more stuff.
So what brings you here?
I came to make you a proposition.
Cool. As long as I can say no.
My name is Nicholas Nkuna. I decided my name was too long, so I'm known by Nick Soul. I'm an actor, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, and I dance sometimes. Favorite gadget would be my iPad. I know it's quite typical, but there are specific things that are in my iPad, like the music composition. I need that all the time when I write my songs, and I also need there's an app where I just put my scripts and I can able to to cancel things, to mark things. So that helps me. It's quicker life now. So everything is there. And the screen is bigger than the phone anyway. So I'd rather to use a smaller one. It's bigger and it's better.
You've always used the guys down the road. Why not just use them?
Hierdie show is anders. Meer soul. Ek soek net die beste.
The son of Africa, Trevor Noah, is leaving America in stitches.
I never dreamed that I would one day have, well, 2 things really. An indoor toilet and a job as host of The Daily Show.
We are the first to bring you the latest films around the globe.
Dear white people, the minimum requirement of black friends needed to not seem racist has just been raised to 2.
Cobbins Asako is a gifted blind musician, a master of soothing notes from the piano.
I love to sit behind the piano. That also helps me find inspiration.
Join Refilo Mulwa every Friday for that 1-hour weekly dose of art and entertainment news at 9 p.m. on Trends.
SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Now, this little guy is Oxford Dictionary's word of the year, except he is not a word. He's an emoji, just a face showing an emotion.
This year's Oxford Word of the Year has shocked many people, as it is not even a word. It is this guy, the face of tears of joy. And many people are asking, are we becoming primitive, or is technology so advanced we don't need words anymore?
In my opinion, I think rumors of the death of language of words is a little bit exaggerated and premature at this stage. I think what will happen is that we'll continue to see emojis being used to augment and enrich verbal communication or the use of words.
Ancient anthropology shows that human beings used symbols to communicate the same way we use them today. According to research by Oxford University and SwiftKey, 2015 is a year we use emojis more than ever before.
Call an ambulance! I'm dehydrating! We recognize that there has been an explosion in emoji culture, if I can call it that, over the past year. 2015 especially. We've really seen a big increase in use of emoji.
And these little guys have been around since the late 1990s, but we are only appreciating them now. This has prompted Oxford dictionaries to recognize them, and 2015 Word of the Year definitely proves that.
This year we had to take a slightly different approach because obviously our own databases didn't contain emojis or anything like that.
The face of tears of joy has overtaken the standard smiley face emoji in popularity, which may mean that emoji users are moving towards exaggeration, irony, or fun. And even if you are not a fan of emojis, you will probably receive them from your friends and family.
Now let's see what some people have been sharing in social media. South Africans have been trending with the Back Up the Bucks hashtag to support Orlando Pirates in the bid to be Continental Club champions. The Sowetan played to a 1-1 draw with Etoile du Sahel from Tunisia in the final. It was the first round of the final. Zimbabwean First Lady Grace Mugabe has been trending for two reasons. The first is when she was quoted blaming women who wear miniskirts for rape. The second was when bottled water branded with her name, the words Mother of the Nation, and her face was distributed at her rally in Zimbabwe. In Kenya, Pope in Kenya has been trending. This is in anticipation of Pope Francis's visit to the East African country. And that's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za and email. As the Tears of Joy emoji is Oxford Dictionary's Word of the Year, we leave you with a video showing emojis coming to life. From me and the rest of the network team, have a good one.
Hi. Now that we've broken the ice, let's talk, babe.
That's actually really creepy.
Oh, I'm really sorry, I was only joking.
Okay. Please don't ever wink at me again.
What can I get you to drink? If I could rearrange the alphabet, I would put you and I together.
You're really weird.
As Africans, we tell a common story. Together, we make up a common picture. For the 7th time since 1998, AfriCities Summit is uniting people from local governments across the continent and asking them to contribute in voice and action to shape a common vision of transformed African cities by 2063. Join us. Learn about the AfriCities 7 Summit, Johannesburg, South Africa, 29 November to 3 December 2015.
SABC News. We report, contextualize and present.